All right, first and foremost, I don't have the best setup for home tutorials. With that out of the way, I saw a lot of requests for this specific model manual online. And what this is a Baia Instaview 270 Super 8 viewer and editor. You can also use regular 8mm film with it. So for those of you who don't have the manual, and I know it's a bitch to find because I've been looking for it and I can't find it myself, I taught myself how to use this thing. So I'm going to do my best to use it, and hopefully if you have this model, it will help you out as well. If you do not know how to use it, or if you're looking into getting into anything 8mm or anything like that. So first of all, this is the kind of film you're going to use for this, whether it's 8mm or the Super 8 cartridge. It's not going to work for 16s. It's not going to work for anything else like that. It's got a built-in splicer underneath it. So this is here. This is the actual, let's see, the box here. This is where the black wheel originally came in. This is a separate splicer. It has nothing to do with this mechanism at all. We got the black wheel here. I believe this wheel came in that box though. So this black wheel is what you're going to use to feed the film through. If you don't know that already, that's how the cartridges work. One receives it, one sends it out. And this is a sealed one. So to open them, like I said, I don't know who here has familiarity with this, or is familiar, whatever. You know what I mean. Anyway, I don't know who knows how to use one of these. So the way I do it, I don't know if it's the right way. I look for the middle and I push it open, and the tape just comes out. So, boom, you got that part out, and then you get your black one. And what you're supposed to do is there's a line right here. That's where you feed the tape in through. That black line right there, this little cartridge kind of hole. So it's right there, and that's how it looks from the side. So you want to get the tape in there, and then you want to get it rolling once it's on. So you basically take the ends. Also, when you do put it on the viewer, you kind of want to have it upside down like this, so that it's feeding into the end, which I'll also show you on the viewer right now. Taking like a million years just to get this thing out the box, huh? Alright, let's get this thing out. This thing is super old. It's from like the Precambrian ages. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all. So here it is. It's the Baia Instaview 270. This one, surprised, still works. There's a metal piece that goes here, but it has a tendency to come out a lot, and it really has no purpose as far as I know in the functionality of it. So we'll leave it like that. This right here is where you want to put the movie or the tape that you are about to play. So if you're facing it, this is the left side. This is the right side, if you're facing it. So the black wheel is going to go on here. Now, there's a tab, so I'll show you the tab. These tabs back here close and open. So when you're going to put the black wheel on the right side, for the black wheel, you want to make sure these lines, the way it looks kind of like a triangle line, matches up with the ridges that are on there. They have the same shape, so you put it on once with the line matched up, and then there's you turn it. So once you turn it, it locks into place. So once again, you put it on, you turn it, and there's the lock. You heard the lock, and then the clip, which is here, clips it into place. So now it's not going anywhere. You do the exact same thing with the left side, but with the left side, this is where your actual movie is going to go. So what you want to make sure is when you put the left side in, you also want to make sure that on the film, you see how it's got these perforations, these holes? Yeah, my hand's messed up. I went fishing. Anyway, you see how it's got these holes? You want to make sure the holes are what's going to be feeding into this part of the actual player. The holes go towards the back. They don't go towards the front. So if you get them towards the front, it's probably not gonna work. So you do the same thing you did with this. You lock it on twice. So first you unlock the latch, which is here. You put this one on one time and then twice to lock it into place. You lock it on. Boom. So now you got your film reel on and you got the empty receiver on. Okay. Now you want to take it and run it through the bottom. So when you loop everything together, it should look like this, with the line coming through the bottom. Once you feed the line through it and through the bottom, as you see, so the line has to go like that. You want to make sure it's through there, and then we're going to worry about getting it in the middle after. So just make sure you got it connecting from your video to your receiver, and then you also want to make sure that you get it in that little hole right there. You see that? So you want to make sure you get the tape to go in there. So once you get the tape to go in there, you're pretty much set. A lot of people like to do that before they put this on here because it's sometimes easier. I like to do it after because for me that way is easier, but it all depends. So as soon as I get this thing on here, I'll be able to keep this little demonstration going, I guess. I don't know how accurate this information is with other viewers, by the way, like other Super 8 viewers. Okay, so boom. So now it's all looped in. It's almost ready to play, but you got this part here, the part that I told you about with the holes in the film. You have to make sure the holes are towards the back, and you want to slide them between the light bulb and the reader. So obviously I have to plug this thing in first. Let's get that plugged in. Now, for the controls on this thing, this button here, remember this is the right side. So this button here controls the light and is also the power switch. This button here, the second button, so this was your light and power switch button. This button here adjusts your frame up and down so that way you can see what you're looking at, because you have to get the film to adjust. These other two buttons on the left side, they do work, but I do not know what they're for. If you know what they're for, feel free to comment on it. So what I do is I turn it on and I put the film with the holes facing towards the back inside. So I'll show you that right now. So there it goes, you see? So let me turn the light off so you can see better. Okay? So you put the holes facing backwards and you put them right there and you just move it back. Make sure it's nice and even in there. And turn the power back on. Now you got controls over here. Let me turn this power off so you can see it better. You got controls over here. It's just like a VCR. The R is for reverse, and it's going to rewind the tape when you're done into the original cartridge, I suppose. And then you got the F for forward, which is going to allow you to play it. You can play it at different speeds. I play it at 1 or 2. That seems to be about the general, but if you want to play it faster, go for it. If you want to play it slower, go for it. Same thing with rewind. If you want to rewind it fast or slow, go for it. It's up to you. All right, so everything's all hooked up. Power on. Now let's hope I did this right, huh? Okay, so the blue film doesn't mean anything. And now here we are, and we're playing. So everything's set up, everything's running, and as you can see, I got some film display on my image. What I'm going to do is cut these lights off, and you'll be able to see it better, but it is working.